You want to keep it big. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger, the better.
Yeah. Okay, so starting on the left-hand side of the map, you've got the Tsunami Clan TSM. We've got Finn playing Zeus in the blue cover. We've got Green player, again in the pocket position, also playing as Zeus. Over here we have Atlantis playing Ornos, as was discussed before the game. So on the opposite team we have Deities of Death, starting with Killer Boy in the yellow cover playing as Hades. We have Firefox in the pocket position in the teal cover playing as Isis. And then over here we have Poseidon. The Mista is purple, he's playing Pos. Now, the thing that's interesting is immediately Mista uses his lure on the pocket player Isis. So that's an interesting play right there, where you understand that you have all this hunt in your front base, and you therefore use your god power to help out your ally. I think that's an interesting decision.
Yeah, at first this map looked like a savannah, but now I'm seeing the water. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's WH.
clearly it's a watering hole. Um, this is a pretty good map actually in terms of resource distribution.
Yeah. Hi, Hunt.
I typically like this map. It's a pretty popular map. A lot of defensive play, as you can see. The waterways there can be easily walled off. So we could see a lot of fast mythic plays, not so much raiding.
Well, in this case, you're talking about 2 Greek and Isis versus 2 Greek and Ornos.
Right,
So
but
I
you would have to
see.
look at the waterways, right?
Right.
For example, you have to base your strategy on the waterway of your opponent. Say if your opponent only has one opening, then you would probably want to do something different, right? If he has a full scale open front, then you could probably just raid him so easily and take full control of his economy. So no matter what civilization you are, these can be put into perspective. Definitely, guys, check out all those links. If you love Age of Empires as much as we do, subscribe. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Age of Empires. Join tournaments. We got tournaments going on. Big prizes at our site, the PK site. So look into that.
Right. Yeah, sorry, I'm just distracted here. So
these are very good players, guys.
Yeah.
Atlantis, I'm not sure who exactly Atlantis is.
But all these other guys are
well
known. Well known.
As far as I know, Atlantis is one of the top guys. You don't see him around too much, but he's one of the better players right now in this game. You got Atlantis, Fen, excellent player. I'd say I put him in the top 50, that's for sure. And then you got TSM player, another top 25 player. Phenomenal guy. Great Greek player. I'm pretty sure TSM player is playing Greek. And then you got Killer Boy, a very good Norse player. Is he playing Norse? And then the Mista, who is very, very famous for his Zeus play. And considered to be the best player right now playing this game. The Mista Greco playing in purple.
What about Army Corps?
No. The Mista is considered the best player right now. And DoD Firefox, another expert player. So you got 2 excellent teams duking it out. And these players are all top notch. They're all 1v1 top notch players. So since it's a team game, we gotta look at it at a different angle.
We gotta look at the fact that you've got 3 1v1s, and there's a sense in which you've got 3 people trying to outplay the opposite. So yes, it's a team game, but there's also the individual component, and all these guys are capable of holding their own.
Yeah. Okay, so there was suggestion that the stream is skipping. Now, do you have any you know,
Any suggestions? Well, first of all, I would make sure that your internet is uncluttered, meaning so.
well, perhaps on your side, do you think anything is going on or everything all right?
Well,
Should be all right, right?
okay. Let me. I'm just double checking like my computer. Just a sec, guys, please. Um, I've got
Your
a.
FPS is good, all that is good.
Well, I'm running on 60 FPS. Maybe I should run on 30.
No, 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 you're fine, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so yeah, so as I mentioned before, guys, you're going to see a lot of defensive play here. We see Killer Boy already walling up that waterway in front of him.
Yeah.
Since Killer Boy is against Atlantis.
Yeah. Notice Atlantis as Ornos went for a double TC, so that means we're gonna see the booming version of Ornos, especially with the fact that the Ornos player elected to go for a later age up. And I think that that's consistent with what you were saying, Chicks, where um,
Well, absolutely. I mean,
the defensive play, more
yeah.
booming. So, usually Ornos players, they want to rush, right? But obviously, if Killer Boy is going to wall himself like that, there's no point rushing.
Yeah, Aranos, as you see here, already halfway to Heroic Age with 2 TCs.
Right.
Quite nice at right under 6 minutes.
Yeah, now note well, player upgraded his centaurs, and so as Firefox attempts to get this TC constructed, notice the Pharaoh and the Sphinx, and that might be critical right here if, well, player was able to run away, but that would have been critical if a centaur was lost.
Now, just to give everybody a quick update here, these are the two top current clans right now, bashing it out in a 3v3. This is the Semifinals, RTS League. It's a clan league. And of course, you got the commentators, myself, Chicks, and with me here, Mr. Clown, who is the actual observer and the main commentator. I'm just
Yeah.
assisting him,
Yeah.
helping him out here.
So we noticed the fact that just now the Hades player decided to use Pestilence on the Ornos. So what this
Yeah.
will do then is this will slow the Ornos player down. However, on the other hand, I think it's just an attempt to prevent the rush, using his god power to buy himself an extra minute, because he's going for his second TC over here, and he's just now getting his stuff built. So he doesn't want to make his army yet. He's trying to buy himself some time. So I think that's interesting. But also interesting is the fact that the Ornos player then decided to upgrade his towers. And
That's a rather... I don't think that Pestilence was needed. Usually you'd use Pestilence when you're on the aggression.
right,
There's quite a large gap in walking
yeah,
distance from red to yellow. I'm not sure why that Pestilence was used. Perhaps to stop him from the Terma raids and the Marmello raids. But I'm not in favor of that Pestilence. I do see why he used it, but he could have definitely chosen Hermes instead.
no, he's Hades. He
Oh,
couldn't.
he is Hades. Okay.
Yeah. We're talking about Killer Boy here. So it's actually interesting. Normally you'd want to be playing Zeus in RTSL, but these guys decided to go for Hades and Poseidon. Mista and Killer Boy did. So we'll see if that decision pays off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hades is very unique.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. In terms of Hades versus Ornos, if this goes to late game, I like Hades' chance because of Gashaphides and Siege. Like, you just spam the Gashaphides and the Helipoli, and you're good to go. Separate from that, we're noticing the fact that everybody's booming it out. Everybody has built their second TC, and as a matter of fact, Yellow's going for his third, as is Player. So we're noticing then that with the triple TCing, like, this is turning into a giant boom fest.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, you could have guessed it.
Yeah.
This kind of map, just looking at it now that you have the whole map scouted by both teams, clearly you see lots of defense easy positions here. So Here we go, Killer Boy with his third TC playing Hades, which is, quite nice actually.
However, he doesn't have enough army right here, so he needs to hurry up and make something, because he's not going to get this TC up with just 2 heroes defending. However, look at these Greek heroes just eat the Promethean for breakfast. That's
Oh yeah.
that's something else. And so player just completed his triple. And but this might be critical here, the fact that Killer Boy was unable to secure this TC. This is a pretty big deal because now he loses the time advantage. He just lost the Tox getting picked off, and now player is there to double team. So, and here comes Firefox bringing his stuff over, and with a barracks. So we're gonna see. It looks like Firefox in yellow. Firefox and Killer Boy are gonna basically 2v2. Perhaps they're gonna use A&E to secure this location.
Normally Zeus would beat Hades in late game, just because overall Zeus has a better composition with the myth units, since they can gather favor so quickly. They can just sneak in 5 Colossi right into the middle of the base of the Hades player, and there's not much you can do about it. Typically Zeus would be the better god, especially since Zeus has a better god path. But late game, I really base it on the position of both players. Where's the position of the Hades player? If the Hades player has a good position, and whereas archers, Gastafridis could be really put to good use, like for example what we're seeing here, triple range, triple archers, that's perfect as Hades. Get that 10% extra on the attack, that's excellent. But anyway, back to my point. I think Hades has a good chance against Zeus late game, but then again, it's dependent on the position of.
Right. Well, I like my chances with Hades so long as I don't get screwed by Colossi, because Gastrophides with all the armory upgrades and the attack bonus against myth units with
they're
and all
absolutely
that stuff.
nasty.
Like Gastrophides are really difficult to counter in my opinion. Anyway, let's focus on this game though. Look, we have ancestors and eclipse being used, and like I said a second ago, I was wondering if they were going to do this in order to secure this position, and that's exactly what they're doing. So now the guys are pushing red and green back, and map control is just going to be really solid here with the forward Migdal, and the fact that the Hades player now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make that 5 military buildings and his armory here. Well, here's the 6. So as the Hades player masses units, Atlantean will become a little bit less effective, because we know that a full pop Greek army is a pretty good deal against Addy. TCs are interesting. So red has picked up his third TC up here in the front, as well as his back TC, although Mista just brought his cav to the back TC, so looks like this TC is going to go down.
It might sound like a slight exaggeration, but I'm 100% spot on when I say this. Those Gastafridis, when you got them maxed out on the attack upgrades and burning pitch, they're absolutely the nastiest units you've ever encountered.
They are pretty nasty, but chicks, let's focus on the game.
They could shoot over waterways.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead,
so player just used his ceasefire. And so this is interesting right here. So Mista is picking up his third TC in front, even though technically the water cuts him off. We see Mista picking up the fourth TC, trying to go 4-2 TC versus Fen. So this is going to be interesting here, because again, Mista is Poseidon, blue Fen is Zeus. So we're going to see if with Colossi and stuff versus Poseidon, we're going to see if Fen can beat Mista to Mythic and start doing stuff against Mista, even though Mista will have 4 TCs over here.
Yeah, during the ceasefire, many things can happen. Everybody gets 3 TCs. Yeah. Everybody starts spamming buildings in the middle. Wall parts everywhere. Connectors everywhere. That's what we're expecting during the ceasefire.
Yeah,
at this time in the game.
Mista just aged up to heroic. Fox is about to set up his trade. Now, I think that Fox could potentially upgrade his trade a little bit more, but still, this is a pretty decent trade corridor. Separate from that, let's just look at economy upgrades. So Mista has a bunch of classical age ups. We find, as there's a lot of fighting over here, Firefox has a really good economy here. He even has a couple relics. Killer Boy, I'm not sure what Killer Boy is doing, but he's failing to build his TC right here. Now, interestingly, Atlantis has heavy infantry and has picked up some armory ups here. And so this is pretty awesome right here. So Killer Boy has his he has medium archers. He has the Ares Bow of Horror upgrade. He also has Pierce armor. So that's really going to help him out to deal with the Terma. Now, however, on the other hand, though, we see that Red is going for siege ships and is also going for his palace. So potentially he's going to go for Arcus destroyers.
Yeah, the game has been definitely developing quite well.
Yeah, so the Mista now with his 4 TCs like we were talking about, the Teal is really going for some serious map control. Mista has really good map control, Hippocamp everywhere, raiding blue, creating havoc, creating problems, denying access to resources. Over here again we have a huge fight. And I think that it's pretty even right now. We're going to see how this continues, but perhaps TSM is losing units unnecessarily because of the Migdal, the TC Fire, and the towers, and all these archers.
Yeah, excellent rating going on by Mista. I mean, he's just every single unit of his is always moving. He's always harassing people.
Yeah,
doing excellent work there.
He also has heavy Hippocamp and Spirited Charge versus the inferior upgrade, and that's a huge deal right here. Using Curse and giving an opportunity to really push on the economy over here again at this gold mine. So again, over here on this side, Mista's just doing work. Mista's also, he's got the highest, actually no, Red has higher score, but he's going to push on green as well. So Mista's just doing a lot of work. So we noticed the fact that Yellow just aged up to Apollo as Hades. So we're going to see if he goes to Mythic soon. Let's check his eco ups.
Yeah, Fen has really been falling behind here. He's been low on army, low on economy, and he's on 2 TC compared to the Mista 4
right.
TC.
However,
so they're going to have to start pushing on his side.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is that Mista's just raiding him, but what Fen should look at is going Mythic, I think. Anyway, Mythic for player and Atlantis. So this is going to be a huge deal here, the fact that both players on this side of the map are Mythic now.
Yeah, and player has been very busy with yellow. I mean, player has been actually been busy with both players, to be honest with you, purple and yellow. So he's going to have to start kicking purple out of there, otherwise Fen is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, well, actually, Mista's pushing on a player here. It's going to be interesting too here to see if this TC goes down before Fortified TC comes into play. No, he's got Fortified TC upgrade. Over here, they're pushing pretty hard. And there it is, Heavy Toxotes. And blue is Mythic. So all 3 TSMs are Mythic right now, which is good. But Fen is in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to see if Fen can push back with Colossi. Colossi are going to be critical.
Fen and player is just trying their best to kick out Mista, but he's just too powerful. He's just plowing through there, taking land.
And speaking of plowing, look at this right here with Killer Boy. All these Toxotes. And the thing about it is that Red just doesn't have the armory upgrades. Heavy archers, Sun Ray. That's pretty cool here. The Hades player has all his mythic upgrades for archers. So you got siege, you got elephants, you got priest. You got like 4 different types of units right here. And that's the thing about Hades that I like a little bit more than Zeus. Archers are just easy to spam. You know, you put 5 archeries up, and next thing you know, you're golden. And Firefox is building a TC as well, so this is a pretty big deal. Now back to here. Yeah, player's just short on time. Player just needs more time here, because Mista's just going all in. Although player's trying to defend with siege ships. Red is going for his Titan Gate, whereas siege ships over here. So Mista just lost one of his TCs. But Fen made 9 Juggernauts and upgraded them. That's a lot of resources to get expended.
Yeah, pretty smart move there by player building that dock, taking out those buildings nearby of Mista's. But Mista has been just devastating that forward there, just pushing into green as well and trapping in Fen.
Yeah,
That's two players under his wing.
yeah. DoD is just in a really good position right here. So you got the 4 TC advantage over here, and if Mista can grab this TC right here, that would be pretty good for them as well. Chicks, do you agree with going for Titan in this situation?
Oh, absolutely. If you can go Titan, go for it.
Yeah,
You
even
got
if
the
you're
resources.
yeah, but even if you're in some trouble here and you might need to, focus on defending.
A Titan always pays off. Always.
Mm.
One of those things that they didn't nerf before they stopped updating the game. If you have enough resources for it, absolutely. You could even ask your teammates for the extra resources. For example, player probably is stacking up on a... Or actually, his economy is not looking too good, although he's a pocket player.
Well, let's look up his upgrades. He's got some upgrades. You know what's interesting too? Yellow just went mythic, so we're gonna see Gashafides very, very soon.
In a team game, Titan is usually good. You could ask your teammates, hey, listen, I'll switch, I'll give you some wood for food or whatever the case, and get that Titan going.
Uh-huh.
In
It's
a
just
1 versus 1, you got to get all those resources in order.
Yeah, it's just that like look at the auto queuing and the gacha fees. See, my point here is that I think
Yeah.
Atlantis is having some problems defending. So, anyway, he's trying to get that Titan up, but
Fen is doing a smart move building those towers. He should have built those towers before. That's what counters Poseidon, is the towers and crenellations. Killer Boy is just going through Atlantis here, though.
yeah. However, see, here's the thing: we were expecting Blue to push back. Now that he's in Mythic, so he's got Helipoli. He's making his Hoplite. He's got the armory, cheaper armory upgrades. He's just pushing.
I'm looking at the comments. I agree with Miraz. Underworld is very powerful here in team games. Underworld, Ceasefire, everything Zeus offers is awesome.
Yeah,
Underworld,
look at
Ceasefire,
these
and
citizens die.
Plenty Vault.
Look at these citizens just die. And that's GG. Atlantis quicks resign.
Yeah, quite a nice game actually.
And player resigns and Fen resigns after
It just
casting.
came down to Mista holding off two players or pushing two players back into their
Yep,
base,
that's right.
and then light blue and yellow pushing onto red, forcing him to resign, and that called the game. Very well done by Mista, and Mista is a star player here.
Absolutely, misses the man. But Killer Boy finishes with the highest score, and I thought Killer Boy played great in Hades. As a Hades player here, he made archers.
They did what he was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Him and his fella there, his teammate Light Blue, teamed up on one player, smashed him, made him resign, and Mista's over there just holding two players. Excellent work. Making player focus on Mista was what made Red resign.
Yeah. Look at the chat here. They're like, yeah, right. Versus 2 Zeus Mythic. Like Mista's giving his teammates a hard time.